Tekken. Game over.
You know what? It is, and then some. By a lot. Quite a lot. By an insane margin number. By several ultra-long galaxies located far, far away on the outer rim, blah blah blah. You get a point. I guess we could end this video right here and right now. Goodbye. Or not. Let's ramble about the game a bit more. Shall we call this title a bold, pretentious douchebaggery of a question? What about, let's say, Mortal Kombat? What about Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, Bushido Blade, Bloody Roar, Tobal, Kensei Sacred Fist? Okay, this last game is a rubbish one. But there are many contenders for the crown bearing. Why would Tekken 3 snatch the title? And if that's so, isn't Tekken Tag Tournament or Tekken 5 superior to Tekken 3? Don't get me wrong, these are all good games or franchises, but they're like toys for the kids. You know, little Hot Wheel cars, Barbie dolls, G.I. Joe figures. Oh wow, fatality moves and so much blood. It just gets old pretty quick, just like my interest in playing Mortal Kombat. As soon as your balls drop, believe me, you'll lose interest in the game. Street Fighter is just another euphemism for saying arcade machines will never die, or I'm still living in my parents' basement. Bloody Roar or Tobal is like your parents force you to go with them to visit some annoying relatives that ask you stupid questions all the time while parents try their best to unintentionally humiliate you. In other words, not a really desirable experience. Bearable, but you can do without it just fine. And then on diametrically opposite side there is Tekken 3, the epitome of all that is cool from the 90s. If I would describe it as a music, it would be drum and bass rave party. After all, the first Tekken was supposed to be called Rave War, but Tekken is a way cooler name. In Japanese, it literally means Iron Fist. Tekken 3 is like a first, or maybe more than that, drunk experience where you use the most outrageously stupid pickup lines to hit on girls, but you just don't care. And because you don't care and you feel so good in your skin, it just works. You nail a 10-hit combo, so to speak, and the girl is yours. Tekken 3 is a popular cool dude in school that doesn't need to explain his existence to anybody. Just by being there, people are drawn to you because you ooze confidence and stylishness. You are the king of Iron Fist Tournament. But let's get enough of that. See, when you pop the game up and you start to play, you're immediately greeted with this epicness. If this doesn't get you pumped up for the action, I don't know what will. Seriously, Namco was a monster back then with the visuals and overall stylish presentation of their games. That's something that I really don't see nowadays. Okay, maybe one of the games that captures stylishness in a similar fashion these days is probably Persona 5, but that's just about it. Now, check this menu. It's filled with so much stuff as you roll through the different modes, and it's still stylish, just like that intro from before. For a fighting game of that era, Tekken 3 is filled to the brim with stuff to do and so many characters to choose from. Since every character, except our favorite wooden doll called Makujin, who mimics others and their styles, has their own fighting style and so many moves to learn, it would be wise to jump onto the practice mode and learn some of them. But I can see you trying to jump immediately into arcade mode. Just wait, let's practice. In the practice mode, you can fiddle with just about any option to your liking. If you happen to hate a certain character, you can choose it as an opponent doll so they can receive your deadly attacks. To learn those deadly attacks, you'll be given a list of all the moves your character can do as well as combo moves. If you want the demonstration, just check this out. Of course, if you're up to a challenge, you can make the opponent fight back to make things like a real battle. You'll be amazed by the sheer number of attacks some characters can do, like Lee Volong for example. Just see this list of moves and stances, it's so vast. When you get pissed off, button mashing can do some of the tricks and you'll probably accidentally execute fighting combos, but that's just an amateur ordeal. Don't do it. Just don't, you hear me? But I can see that you are so nervous and you want to do some arcade mode, right? Huh? Okay, chill out. Let's go there. Satisfied? Wait, only 10 characters? Is that it? What a tragedy. Just kidding, there are plenty more of them to be unlocked. And that's done by beating arcade mode and its 10 stages, which is not a lot. By default you would have 2 rounds per stage to do some ass kicking, I mean knocking out, but you can increase it up to 5 rounds and you can ramp up the difficulty should you find the game too easy for a button mashing experience. Just kidding, for your exceptional skill set, my lord. Knock out the opponent and you will be granted with a short replay and winning moves. These can vary from ultra cool ones like this to weird ones like those.
You win.
And downright bizarre ones like this one.
You win.
You just cannot say that they don't look inventive. Now remember, you can choose just about anyone except Eddy Gordo. Because if you choose him, you're admitting to be colossal rate A1 ocean-going pillock, as one of the 3 wise men would once say. You will lose your integrity as a person, your friends and everyone will hate you with utmost passion. You'll be sentenced to live a miserable life, swallowed in an internal swamp of grief and self-pity. Do you really want that? Don't you think you deserve better than that? So I've chosen him to do this. Check out these combos, check out the moves. And this is why, in my opinion, Tekken 3 reigns supreme when it comes to fighting games even to this day. I believe that most of the moves are very realistically portrayed in 60 FPS, so it all looks smooth and responsive, which is very important in the heat of the fight. Okay, not all the moves are realistic, but it doesn't make them less cool. Sporadic fire spitting, sword flying or farting experience have to exist here and there, just to justify the game for those who want to dabble into the supernatural. And Tekken 3 has some supernatural tendencies in the vein of the main star Jin Kazama being able to turn himself into the Devil Jin, but not playable, only in the FMV animations. Since Kazuya is absent in the sequel, there needed to be somebody else to carry on with the devil stuff. Also, another supernatural occurrence is the transformation from Ogre to True Ogre, which you'll see every single time Ogre brings up the knockdown Heihachi by the neck into the air. Poor little bald Heihachi. It must be really tough and unwelcoming to be in his skin. All of your family members can transform into supernatural entities but you. Can't even begin to imagine what it's like to plow through the days being overly bitter, old, disgruntled sod. Seems to be that he can only help other creatures like Ogre to transform into the fire-breathing hairy beast, but he cannot do it to himself. What a shame. But I think Heihachi is cool. I wouldn't mind having the look of well-built, ultra-strong 60-something old man who can beat the shit out of everyone who feels like needing it. And what's more cool is his background music. It's such a badass vulgar assault on the ears of the innocent players, making them play better instantly. Yep, this is Namco's one of the strong points. I'm sure all of you have your favorites, but I go ape when I hear Heihachi, Force Law, Yoshimitsu, Dr. Boskonovich teams. There are plenty more cool ones to choose from like Jin or King teams, but yeah, I'd love to let them run in the background, but I don't wanna wrestle with the copyright infringement, so you'll have to take my word for it. Overall, they're awesome and they energize the fights quite decently.
Fight!
What about fighting? Like I said, Tekken 3 is such a smooth fighting experience that even today it feels fresh. Go ahead, try to play contemporary fighting games of the era and cringe at their appalling, barely existing gameplay mechanics. Yeah, never again, thank you very much. I feel like Tekken 3 is one of the very few instances that you can give the kids to play and they will not shit on the gameplay. Maybe they'll shit on the graphics because it looks old, but not on gameplay because it's still playable today. Fighting itself can be a pretty short experience. In a matter of a few seconds you can clear a round no matter the difficulty. That's why I mentioned earlier that you can set each stage up to 5 rounds to prolong the experience. The levels themselves don't have any rigid objects in the way or any walls. It's just you and the opponent in the fight, nothing else. The background is just one big parallax scroll. I can't decide if that's just a lazy game design or not. Maybe not, because you can only rely on your skills to beat a game, opponent. After you beat 10 stages and beat the crap out of True Ogre, you will be awarded with FMV animation for each character. They are very well made in the terms of visuals, believe me. Nothing looked that good on PS1 at that time, but they often fall short in explaining what's the story behind the character or what was the motivation to enter the Iron Fist tournament in the first place. Come to think of it, you don't get any explanation on why the characters even entered the tournament. Oh well, since they're all here, let's fight with all of them regulars to unlock Tekken Ball mode. Tekken Ball mode? What the hell is that? Yep, you can play this interesting take on a classic volleyball where you kick the ball into the opponent itself or their part of the court to inflict damage upon them. As you play a first round, you will notice a new character, small orangish lizard with suspiciously small T-Rex arms called Gon. What does he want? Fight me? Okay, so you beat him and you can have him as a character. Neat, but I don't like him. He is small and he'll never have a promising boxing career now, right? Tekken Ball is a nice little distraction, but it can be very clumsy at times to hit the ball properly. Luckily, the enemy's AI is stupid enough for you to exploit it. Most of the time, they just want to hit you instead of the ball, and hitting you directly doesn't hurt you at all while you have conveniently sent the ball behind their back to damage them. Job well done. A better distraction, if you ask me, is Tekken Force mode. A side-scrolling beat-em-up segment in the vein of old games like Streets of Rage or Double Dragon. It's such a cool little minigame spanned across 4 segments and obligatory boss fights at the end of each segment. A regular bird named baddies are easy, but they keep appearing from all of the sides, so be careful. If you get some damage, these fried chicken drumsticks thrown on the floor will be of utmost importance. The only possible downside of this mode is, if you get ass kicked, you'll start all the way back from the beginning, which can be sometimes mildly infuriating if you happen to walk on Mishima Fortress. Anyways, knock out Heihachi and you'll get a key. Just a key for beating it all? Well, you see, there are 3 keys, which means you have to beat Tekken Force mode 3 times. You do it, and now what? Take a wild guess, sonny. Beat it again, for the 4th time. This can be exhausting, but you are a hardcore gamer and you can do it. Here comes the old sod and you beat him once again, and then... Whoa, another fight? Dr. Boskonovich is here and he can be a true pain in the ass. And those who know, they know why. Most of the time the grandpa is rolling on the ground and he can be really deadly. If you manage to kick his ass, he is rescued. And he is yet another unlocked character. If he kicks your ass, well, tough luck, sunshine. Go back to the beginning of the Tekken Force mode. There is also survival mode, where you test how many rounds you can kick your opponent's asses before you get your ass handed to you. Team battle mode is the one where you can choose up to 8 players to do a mega battle with CPU or your real life friend or enemy. Versus mode is self-explanatory, and theater mode serves as a place to watch all those beautiful FMV cutscenes. Nice package for a fighting game, I'm telling you. What more do you want? Tag fights? Go away. So when you wrap this all up, Tekken 3 is one of those games you can always get into and play no matter how old the game becomes or how old you are. It's easy to get into for newcomers and it'll be brutal to those seeking some challenge. From the gameplay to the overall presentation, Tekken 3 has it all, and it truly shows that Namco was a force to be reckoned with in the 90s. And that's why it's the best fighting game ever. You still don't believe me? Let's check out the most important bit of the evidence ever. Metacritic scores, that's right. Let's scroll down from the bottom right here. As you can see, the list goes on. Soul Calibur 3, Mortal Kombat, yes, Dead or Alive 3, Power Stone 2, Tekken Dark Resurrection is here, Tekken 5 is there, Tekken 2 on the 20th place, yeah, yes, Soul Calibur 2, Street Fighter 4, and then now we come to the top 5. Let's slow it down a bit. Okay, we have Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Virtua Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4, Tekken 3 on 2nd place? What the hell is that? What's on the 1st place then? Huh? Oh, for fuck's sake! A fucking Soul Calibur! What the fuck is that? Damn it! So, I guess this video has gone horribly wrong and the title is not true at all. But if you look at user scores, Tekken 3 seems to resonate much better with the gaming audiences. And all for a good reason. Because, simply put, it's the king of all fighting games, if you ask me. Only if you really can't stand the graphics, you can find some solace in Tekken 5 or Tekken Tag Tournament. They look better and they offer a similar experience. However, thanks again for watching this video. I know it's not another Tomb Raider one, but after 3 sequels I needed a slight break from Lara Croft. And also, I want to explore other games too, there's plenty to talk about. As usual, leave a like, comment and sub if you like my content, it's highly appreciated. And until next time, kanpai!
Draw.